So starting off by prepping my breakfast for the next day, I'm just going to be adding in bite-sized pieces of this banana to my glass mason jar. And this is going to be my version of overnight oats. My favorite combination of fruit to use for this recipe are frozen blueberries, frozen cherries, and then that banana. And I usually always stick with this combination just because it is my favorite, but you can always substitute fresh fruit instead of frozen or any kind of variation of frozen fruit. And after I added my frozen cherries, I'm going to top it off with some cacao powder. Or you can just use regular cocoa powder. So by the time all my fruit is added in and any kind of extra toppings, it's probably about 2/3 full, and then I'm just going to fill in the rest with my quick oats. Leaving just a little bit of room at the top so when I go to add the soy milk, it doesn't overflow. And because fruit isn't always sweet enough, I just go ahead and add in a little bit of vanilla stevia to it. And once it's all mixed together, I'm just going to throw it in the fridge and take it out in the morning. For lunch for the next day, I'm actually just adding in some rice noodles that I was making for dinner the night before. And adding in the toppings I was using for my spring rolls for dinner. I'm just going to add in all the extra toppings I did not use right into that bowl. After adding in the shredded carrots, I'm just going to add in 2 chopped baby cucumbers and then some kimchi. And a little weight loss tip I've learned along the way is keeping your veggies and starches about 50-50, if not more. So less starch, more veggies will help you lose more weight. And now I'm going to be adding in about 1/4 of a chopped avocado. I've newly discovered Napa cabbage, and I've been loving it in sautés and in salads. So I'm using 3 of Napa cabbage leaves and just chopping them into bite-sized pieces. And chopping up about half a head of romaine lettuce will complete my salad for the next day. And once I take my oatmeal out of the fridge, it's just going to be thick and creamy. And luckily today I had enough time to eat it before I had to run out the door. So I'm going to eat it really quick and then head to work. It is lunchtime, and as my dressing for my salad, I brought with me some coconut aminos. That is just a great all-around, all-purpose seasoning. So just using that to drizzle over my salad and then shaking it up. And what you don't see is I brought with me a bottle of kombucha that I made from home, and also a big jug of water that I just sip on throughout the day to stay as hydrated as possible. After a long, tiring day, I just don't even have much energy. So I'm just going to chop up all the vegetables I find in my fridge, which is going to be 1 jalapeno, a bag, which is about a pound of Brussels sprouts, and then I have 1 onion. And the amount of vegetables I'm making actually will give me enough for dinner, but also for lunch and even some for breakfast the next day, along with whatever my husband eats too. I'm going to cook this all in one pan, so I'm going to add in my onion first and my jalapeno and cook those down before I add anything else. But before that, I add some water so nothing sticks, and I'm doing about 1 heaping tablespoon of white miso paste. And now adding in my 1 pound of Brussels sprouts that have been sliced. And a fairly big bag of kale. And I have to cook this in batches because, as you can see, I just can't fit all of it in there. So while my kale is cooking down, I'm going to prepare my starch. So I have some already steamed potatoes. I'm just going to dice up into cubes. So they're already cooked. All I need to do is just add them to the pan and let them heat up. I'll tell you, it comes in so handy when I have pre-steamed potatoes just ready to go. It takes very little time during my weekly meal prep to steam them and then just to have them handy. So I'm just going to add in my potatoes to my pot just to heat them up, mix them in with the vegetables. And then to add more flavor, I'm going to add in some spicy mustard. You can use Dijon or any kind of mustard you like. I just have spicy mustard on hand. And once everything's all mixed together, I like to add in some garlic powder and then red pepper flakes to top it all off.